Sami Zayn done with the Bloodline, Royal Rumble recap, and Mommy and the American Nightmare call their shot for WrestleMania. The ref is giving you until the count of 5 because you're against the ropes. Hello, I am Thomas Emeric, and welcome back to Against the Ropes, your source for your wrestling news. I was out for the count last week, but we're back, and with me once again is my tag team partner and co-host, Taylor Berkowitz.
Thomas, please call me Shmooly from now on.
Well, Shmooly, the shoulders are down, and the ref has started the count, so let's get to the show.
Before we get into the show, some breaking news. As it was reported by multiple sources on Monday, WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler had suffered a stroke at his home in Fort Myers, Florida. Lawler has undergone surgery and is scheduled to be discharged today. Jerry's speech is limited, but with rehabilitation hopes to make a full recovery. We here at Against the Ropes are sending our deepest and best wishes to Jerry for a full and speedy recovery.
Now, on to our main stories. Roman Reigns retained the undisputed Universal Championship in the main event at the Royal Rumble last Saturday night. But the real story was after the match, when the Tribal Chief ordered Sami Shmooly Zayn to beat down a handcuffed Kevin Owens with a chair. Shmooly had enough and hit Roman with the chair. It led to his own beatdown, but Jey Uso refused to participate and walked out on the head of the table. So, Shmooly, what are your thoughts on this, and what do you think is next for the Bloodline?
No, thank you for referring to me properly. I loved... Oh, let me start here. In terms of the segment itself, in terms of how it played out, it was great. Everybody played their role perfectly. I mean, you know, Sami Zayn is just his facial expressions, his actions are great. Roman was great. It was a great way to continue on with this storyline. Mm-hmm. There's some issues, and again, this is one of these things where WWE, using certain tropes gets itself into problems. If this had happened on a Monday night or a Friday night, Adam Pearce would be out there screaming at everybody. Every ref would have rushed out from the back. Yeah. Every jabroni security guard would have come out and gotten thrown over the ropes. So it kind of like, you're watching this and you got to really suspend disbelief. Nobody's doing anything. Oh, we're just going to let this beatdown happen. Mm-hmm. I really, but if you could forget about that and recognize this is WWE, it is what it is. It was just, I thought a great, kind of cathartic moment. What's come after, Sami coming out of the, out of nowhere at SmackDown to beat down Roman feels like a heel move. Mm-hmm. The fact that they are just rushing a title match into Elimination Chamber and kind of overlooking it, which we'll get to later. Not loving that. I think there's more to this story. But coming out of the Rumble, it made me want to see what happened as the follow-up, and not loving the follow-up right now.
Mm-hmm. I would have to agree. So I really thought during the main event, when Sami was about to beat down, or when Roman and the Bloodline were about to beat down Kevin Owens, I honestly thought The Rock was going to come out and kind of help out Kevin Owens maybe, but we didn't get that, unfortunately, which is okay, which I think is actually better for this storyline because I'm happy we didn't get The Rock, and I'm happy with the product like we saw in the main event at the end of the night at the Royal Rumble. It was really well done, and I'm just interested to see what's next for Jey Uso.
I think that's probably the best part of this is, where obviously if we're looking ahead to Mania, where do they go? It's obviously not going to be Sami and Roman at Mania. Maybe it's Sami Kevin versus the Usos for titles. Maybe it's Sami and Jey versus Jimmy and Solo Sikoa. I don't know.
That's what I want to see personally.
That would be a nice little wrinkle to this. In terms of coming out to make a save at the end, I know you were very, very hopeful for The Rock, which I was not. I thought this is where, again, given that Cody won earlier. If he comes out to make the save, he inserts himself into the storyline, and now you can really build towards Mania with something meaningful between Cody and Roman. And that didn't happen. And again, maybe it's good to let the story go on its own, but now it feels like they're overlooking that because of what they're planning for Mania. And I'm not a big fan of where that's going.
I would have to agree with you on that. So that's going to wrap it up for our first segment here on Against the Ropes. When we come back, we are going to get into some Royal Rumble recap. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Two of the most decorated combat sports athletes. This is what greatness looks like.
This Monday,
Lesnar issued the challenge. Will Lashley make it official? The contract signing for Elimination Chamber.
plus days before he enters the chamber.
Now, I've got plenty of things to say.
What will the visionary Seth friggin' Rollins proclaim when he joins Miz TV?
We all want to know.
Raw, live from Brooklyn, this Monday, 8/7 Central, only on USA.
Welcome back. There were other matches that took place at the 2023 Royal Rumble Premium Live event, including 2 Royal Rumble matches. Bianca Belair retained her Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. Bray Wyatt beat LA Knight in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. A returning Cody Rhodes won the Men's Rumble, and Mommy Rhea Ripley won the Women's Royal Rumble. What did you think of the matches and the Royal Rumble overall?
It was good. It was, an entertaining night. I'll start here. I mean, the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, that was kind of, it was mercifully short, but kind of soul crushing. And again, it was all just the setup to Uncle Howdy, and all I could think of is Uncle Howdy missed that spot so badly. He might as well have landed in the studio the way he tried to, come through and miss that spot against LA Knight. That was nothing. Then you get the Alexa Bliss, Bianca, which again could have been a great match, was short. And then it was seemingly leading to another angle involving Bray and Uncle. I'm like, okay, we don't need that. Main event obviously was great. The Rumbles were, they were fine. I mean, there was nothing. They weren't terribly booked. They weren't like last year's Rumble. I don't think they were great. The men's was the better one in my opinion. I don't think there was enough advancement of stories in either of them, or creation of new stories, I should say. Everything was playing off of old stuff. Some big moments. I mean, the Logan Paul Ricochet spot was great. Walter going, start to finish. I thought he looked like a star. Rhea winning from the one. But did she really stand out to you? There were a lot of times in that match where I forgot she was in the match. And I think that was the problem with these Rumble. They were fine. They were entertaining, not badly booked. It just didn't feel like things coming out of it felt all that great.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. But I've got a question for you. Do you think it was the right choice to have Rhea Ripley enter number 1 and then go on to win the Rumble, and her becoming the first woman to do that? I think
it was the right choice, but they needed to make her more a part of the story. They needed to give her a Brock run from a couple of years ago. They needed to give her the Kane spot of eliminating a bunch of people, and I don't feel like that happened. And even to a degree, the ending, with the Asuka missed, I thought put more focus on Asuka than it did on her. So it's great that she won. It's great that she feels important. I just think they could have made her more dominant in that match.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. So what was your favorite moment like from the Royal Rumble?
Favorite moment? I probably actually, as much as I wasn't a giant fan of the Women's Rumble, I think the ending of that was great. I did think the Asuka miss spot. I thought that last few minutes of that Rumble with Liv, Asuka, and Rhea Ripley in there, I thought that was great. So that was my high spot of the Rumble. Forgetting about the main event, taking that out of it.
So for me, probably I have 2 high spots. number 1 would be the star of the show with Pat McAfee finally returning to commentary.
He did.
I'm so happy
he
about that.
He added so much to those Rumbles. I will give him. I'm not the biggest Pat McAfee guy, but he added so much to that, and he was a pleasure to listen to.
But it was kind of a disappointment not to hear him last Friday on SmackDown, unfortunately. So that would be my number 1 high spot, and then my number 2 high spot was definitely Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble.
Again, we might have some differences of opinion on Cody. Mileage varies on Cody, so I think we'll get into that in our final segment. But before we do that, some people give star ratings on their shows, but here at Against the Ropes, we do things a little differently. So Thomas, out of 5, how many Mountain Dew Pitch Black bottles do you give this show? Now keep in mind, Mountain Dew Pitch Black, this seems like a horrible, horrible beverage. So I don't necessarily know that you'd want to give it to people, but out of 5, how many do you give the show?
So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 Mountain Dew Pitch Black bottles because I gotta say the show was all right, but I wouldn't rate it a 5 out of 5. It wasn't perfect, but it was okay. I thoroughly enjoyed the Royal Rumble. I thoroughly enjoyed the men's Royal Rumble. I thought the surprises were good with Booker T, Logan Paul, and then also Cody winning the Rumble. And then I wasn't really a fan of the Bray Wyatt, LA Knight, Pitch Black match.
Was anybody?
I don't know.
That killed the crowd. That sucked the energy. Everybody in that crowd needed to chug Mountain Dew Pitch Black after that match.
I think I'd have to agree with you on that. And then the Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, that was really an unforgettable match, unfortunately. And then the women's Royal Rumble was okay, I guess. I wouldn't say it was good, but it was okay. It was cool seeing Nia Jax return, even though she botched her entry.
I think you might be one of the few people to say cool seeing Nia Jax return.
I'm a fan of her.
I mean, not having Nia and Shotzi in the ring at the same time, that is a scary, scary spot for anybody who's in that ring because they are not the safest people on the face of the earth.
I would have to agree with you on that. And the main event, of course, was perfect. The ending of the main event was perfect. Everything about the main event was perfect.
I'm definitely in that 3 Mountain Dew Pitch Black. I'm the same. I thought it was an entertaining start to finish. Even the bad things, at least they were short. And 3 Mountain Dew Pitch Blacks. It's enough to give you a nice little shot of energy, not enough to put you into a sugar coma. So that's what I'm going with. But when we come back, we will start to look ahead to both WrestleMania and Revolution.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to a glorious era. This is pro wrestling.
Back against the wall. I'm the last to fall.
He's reckless, fearless.
I'm gonna handle it all.
Something tells me this is far from over.
Tell them we got it. Tell them we far from done. Tell them we got it.
This AEW ring belongs to me.
I'm coming for your spot.
Crowd on their feet. Give the people what they want. What a battle.
Take them one by one.
My reign of terror has just begun. And it only gets bigger from here.
Welcome back to Against the Ropes. We are officially on the road, or should I say RHODES, to WrestleMania. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, called out the head of the table, Roman Reigns, for the Universal Championship and was confronted by the wise man, Paul Heyman. Over on Dynamite, Bryan Danielson secured his title match against MJF at Revolution. And in the big shocker, the Gun Club are the new tag team champions. They beat the Acclaimed in a result a lot of people just think was ass, boy. Let's start with Cody. Thomas, you have been pumping up Cody. So where are you on his promo the other night? And where are you thinking that this is going? Are you happy with where it's going?
Yes, I'm actually really invested in this Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes storyline. I really liked the element that Paul Heyman added into his promo by saying that Dusty Rhodes thought Cody Rhodes was his favorite son, but Roman was the son he's always wanted.
I mean, given their career arcs, wouldn't you take Roman Reigns as your as the son?
Oh my God, absolutely! In a heartbeat, I would.
Acknowledge me.
So, you thought? Are you excited? Do you think Cody Rhodes is the guy to take the title off of Roman Reigns? I guess that would be my follow up for this.
Yes, I do think Cody Rhodes is the guy to take the titles away from Roman Reigns. It's kind of like a Rocky situation where he has to win.
Rocky doesn't win.
I got 3 words for you: win, Cody, win. Bust it open.
All right. I think most people are on your side. People seem to give this promo high praise. They like. I liked the promo. Mm-hmm. I don't love where this is going. I thought the promo itself was a little ham-fisted. I mean, they are really trying to jam this, making this personal, and it doesn't have to be. I mean, he won the Rumble. He gets his title shot. It doesn't have to be personal. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to build this personal storyline when you have the personal storyline going in the Bloodline. Mm-hmm. And now it was just, forget about Elimination Chamber. Forget about Sammy. Oh, Sammy's fighting for the title? Who cares? Because it's a done deal that he's not going to win. I mean, we're completely overlooking that. This has been the best story that WWE has told in a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And it's not resolved. And we're completely overlooking it because, we're just focusing on Cody Roman at Mania. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. Again, mileage varies on Cody. Start of AEW, was telling some great stuff. I mean, All In, the story he was telling, with Nick Aldis for the NWA Championship, it was amazing. You can question a lot of things AEW television has done in the past year. Not seeing Cody Rhodes on a weekly basis is not something I am missing. He's a heel. Mm-hmm. Cody is a heel. And everything about him is heel, but he wants to be babyface. He wants to be loved. Oh, I beat 29 guys. No, you didn't. You came in at 30. And there weren't even 30 guys in the Rumble because Rey Mysterio never showed up. We're overlooking Sami Zayn. Mm-hmm. That's a heel move. All of this stuff is heel, but he wants to be the babyface. And I think he's poorly suited for that. He works better as a heel. If he had not gotten hurt and you could have built a little story, maybe. Mm-hmm. But he was out. And now he's just being handed something. That's a heel move. And I don't like where this is going. I think they should have put it off a little bit longer. Let Sammy have the moment at Mania. I don't think Sammy should win at Mania. Push this off to SummerSlam. So I'm not big on that. But I'll let you, defend Cody here if you want to take change my mind.
You know what? Like, listening to you, I would have to agree with your statement, like, with Cody, like, being a heel, like, with all this, like, yeah. I mean,
there's some trickiness. There's some trickiness to this. There was also, again, a bunch of big things happening on Dynamite this week. We finally have the official confirmation because Bryan Danielson won his Trials of MJF match that he will be facing MJF at Revolution. Thoughts on that? Are you happy with how that turned out?
Yes, I'm actually very happy to see Bryan Danielson officially going on to face MJF in a 1-hour Iron Man match at Revolution. I thought last night. Oh, I'm sorry, not last night. I thought
that's okay. I mean, it's something happened this week. It's everything blurs together.
I thought on Wednesday the match between Bryan Danielson and Roosh, I thought that was a great match that they had, and I think it was like one of the best matches that they've had with Bryan Danielson and this MJF match trilogy of matches.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was, I mean, for me, I thought that was the best match of the night. And there were a lot of good matches on the show. You know, Roosh, when he's going, can be great. When he's, you know, bored and unmotivated, he just is big and muscular. They had a great match. Again, this is where, you know, I haven't been in love with this. You know, they're trying to make this super personal. They're trying to make MJF the uber heel. He probably should have checked with smart Mark Sterling before admitting to a felony on, you know, on live television on Wednesday night, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw, like the Nassau County Police Department was getting calls from people.
Oh yeah, I was reading something about that on Twitter.
People legitimately think that this actually happened. It is, you know, so again, it'll be a fun match. I hope they do something unique in the match, because I just think, again, another good Bryan Danielson match. Okay, we know that happens. And if there's one thing I think AEW at times struggles with is that, you know, WWE always wants to swerve you. Yeah. AEW doesn't seem to want to swerve you. Mm-hmm. There's a balance. Mm-hmm. And maybe this needed some type of swerve in there to make it seem special, to make it seem different. Mm-hmm. They didn't do that. But speaking of swerves, I would say the swerve of the night came at the end in the tag team championship match between the Gun Club and the Acclaimed. This, you know, the reaction of the people in the building, on television, at home, I think was all universal shock. Thoughts on how this went and where it's going?
I'm actually kind of shocked that the Acclaimed are no longer tag team champions. Like, I really liked their tag team run. I think it like really got them over as a tag team, and I'm just like interested to see like where this leads to next. Like, where do you think it's leading to?
I mean, I'm to a degree, I guess I'm hoping that this will lead to some sort of stipulation match at Revolution. This is a temporary thing, and, you know, all right, hey, it's just a beat in the storyline where they'll win. Give me a good stipulation. Don't do a, you know, daddy ass on a pole match. I don't think that would be something people really want to see. Mm-hmm. But you know, something to that, you know, something that will make this feel special. Let them win it back. You know, here's the thing with the Gun Club, and I gotta, you know, take a breath here. They're not bad. Yeah, they're green. Mm-hmm. This was a bold choice. If you are going to keep the belt on them for more than a couple of weeks and for more than just a beat to make it a rematch, there's a lot of faith in a very young, very green team when you have a lot of great teams in there that could really carry that division. Mm-hmm. It's a choice, but it certainly left me at the end of that episode wanting to tune in next week to see what happens. And I don't know that AEW television has really given me that feeling all that much lately. Mm-hmm. So I will take the benefit of that and I'll see where it goes.
I've got a question for you. Who do you think could be the first challengers for the Gun Club?
I mean, if the Acclaimed don't win it back, boy, I would think, I might hope, and again, I would hope they would win it. I would love to see Dark Order, you know, listen, people want to see Dark Order win and Johnny Hungy win. This might be the time to, you know, let it go a few weeks and then pull the trigger on that.
For me, I would have to go with the team of Hook and Jungle Boy.
If they stick together, that might be fun. I feel like they're trying to, you know, that was a temporary thing, but we'll see. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, I want to see them stick together. I think they work really well as a tag team. Yeah, and they've been like whenever they've been having matches, like they've been really like showing their talent, and I think they're tag team champion worthy.
Agree.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. But before we go, who's your star of the week?
Star of the week for me is probably I was leaning towards Roosh, but I'm going to give it to Takeshita. I thought both of those matches were great. I really do like, everything he's done has been tremendous. So I really hope that they, give him the big push soon because he's been great in those matches.
For me, I'm going to have to give it to Sami Zayn.
Can't go wrong with Sami.
Yep. I just hope at Elimination Chamber that we possibly get the old song back for Sami Zayn.
That'd be nice little treat there. A little ska Sammy coming back. I like it.
Yes. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here on Against the Ropes. For Shmuley Berkowitz, I'm Thomas Emeric. Shmuley. For Shmuley Berkowitz, I'm Thomas Emeric. We'll see you next week as we get you ready for the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. But until then, we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And before we go, we got a point. WrestleMania. We're on the road to WrestleMania.